Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, a free site, bettingangle.us, a free site. Today is Thursday, September the 12th, 2019. Let's talk Week 2 of the National Football League. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, last week was decidedly mixed for us. We hit on the 3-team moneyline parlay, right? But we lost big on the point spread plays. Let's talk about both, right? The 3-team moneyline parlay, we had the Eagles over the Redskins. Eagles delivered, came from behind. We had the Ravens over Miami. Miami right now is in crisis, folks. First-year head coach. They gave up over 600 yards of total offense. Lamar Jackson, big day. Raven running backs, a big day. Miami goes to Josh Rosen late. He comes in and throws a pick. You want to fade Miami for the foreseeable future. Also, we had Seattle over the Bengals, right? So that paid off. That was great. The downside of the week were our 3 point spread plays. I had the Giants getting 7 over Dallas, right? Zeke was rusty. But, right, and the Giants did put up 470 yards of total offense. Look up those numbers. But the Giants secondary couldn't have been worse. Was that Dak Prescott or Joe Montana? I did not expect the Giants secondary to underperform the way they did. We had Denver over Oakland, right? And Oakland, to my surprise, even without AB, won that nationally televised game. I tipped my hat. I was surprised by Denver's lack of offense. I was surprised by Oakland's defense. I was also surprised by Oakland's ability to run the ball, especially in the first half. Finally, we had Pittsburgh getting 5.5 points over the Patriots. Pittsburgh just wasn't ready for that game. Neither side of the ball worked for them. They were blown out. So it's with that mixed record that we dive into a 5-game parlay for Week 2. Let me make a suggestion. Casinos now allow you to break out the bets. So instead of one bet on 5 games, where either game can tank your entire betting card, talk with the person behind the counter at your casino, or if you're betting online, read the rules, right? The casino might be offering alternatives. 3-fold bets, 4-fold bets, right? Let's take a 4-fold bet. What they would do is they would take different combinations, every combination out of the 5 games that you're betting, to give you 5 different parlay bets of 4 games each, right? In other words, if you lose one game, that would sink some of your tickets, but it wouldn't sink all of your tickets. It's a way to diversify. I strongly recommend that you consider taking the information I'm giving you and placing a 4-fold bet if you're inclined to bet on these games. Let's talk about the games we like. First, this is a money line parlay, not a point spread parlay, right? We're not suicidal here. First, on a money line, I like the Ravens over the Cardinals. I'm not sold on Kyler Murray, even though in his first game in the NFL, he passed for over 300 yards. Many of them came very late, folks. I thought Arizona looked very pedestrian the first 3 quarters against Detroit. I thought Detroit should have won that game and gave it away in the 4th quarter, right? Officially, that Detroit game was a draw with the Arizona Cardinals. I think there's a huge coaching gap here, too. You have Cliff Kingsbury, a first-year head coach, and he's taking on Super Bowl winner John Harbaugh, right? Keep in mind, too, the Ravens are coming off of more than 600 offensive yards. So the team, I'm sure, is feeling excited, right? Is feeling like they might be special. I like the Ravens over the Cardinals. Next, You heard me talk about Miami earlier. I believe you need to fade them for the foreseeable future. According to reports, several players contacted their agents saying they wanted out. Right? The team has a lot of uncertainty at quarterback. The team is terrible defensively. The team can't stop the rush. The team can't run the football. They happen to be playing Flores' mentor, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots. I like the Patriots over the Miami Dolphins. Let's move to the third game. This will be a little controversial. You just heard me say the Steelers looked awful last week. But this is Pittsburgh's home opener. And they're playing Seattle, a team that's going to have to travel several time zones. I think the Steelers have too much pride. I'm expecting the Steelers to look better than they did on national television. Week 1, I like the Steelers over the Seattle Seahawks. Next, I know the Saints just beat Houston, a very good team, with a career lengthwise field goal at the end of the game. Good for them. But I think they fall apart this week, right? Week 1, they played at home. Now they're going to travel to the West Coast to play the unbeaten Rams. Also, there were problems in that Houston game. I thought Houston outplayed the Saints. Drew Brees, not a lot of passes downfield. Just not a lot. I thought Michael Thomas didn't quite look dominant in that game. I also thought the Rams, week 1, looked great in Carolina. Cooper Kupp is back, he's healthy, and he's a big part of the Ram offense. Also, if you look at the running back situation, Todd Gurley may not be an every down back anymore, but he's still a very effective back. Look at the yards per carry. They're high. His backup scored multiple touchdowns last week. I think the Rams, in their home opener, beat the Saints. Finally, Sam Darnold is out, folks. In my opinion, with first-year head coach Adam Gase with the Jets, in my opinion, it's over for the Jets, right? I think the Browns just have too much talent. I think you have another storyline that's being overlooked. This is OBJ's return to New York City. Granted, he's not playing the Giants, but he's in the same stadium. He wants to make a splash. He didn't do that well week 1. We're talking about the watch he was wearing, right? I think Cleveland can remedy some of their problems, right? A lot of their poor play was self-inflicted. A lot of penalties. If they could just cut down on the penalties, they're going to have the backup quarterback for the Jets. The Jets, of course, lost week 1, right? It's not like they, came out the gate quickly. I expect the Browns to beat the Sam Darnold-less Jets. Let's talk about some point spread plays that I like, right? You heard me earlier talk about the fact that the Saints are traveling out to California to be on the road against the Rams. You only have to lay 2.5 points with the Rams, folks, and this is a team that just got to the Super Bowl. Right? This is a team, too, with a statement to make. Even the Ram head coach, Sean McVay, has conceded that there was a pass interference play at the end of their playoff game against these very Saints. I think the Rams want to show all of us that they are elite. I'm sure they've circled this game on the roster. They're tired of hearing Saint fans talk about lawsuits and stuff like that against the league. I think the Rams cover the 2.5. Right? I also think the Rams have certain weapons that weren't fully utilized week 1. Right? Brandon Cooks is still on the team, folks. He's still explosive. I'm expecting the Ram passing game to hit the next level against this Saint team. Right? Deshaun Watson had a lot of success in the first half. Too much success in the first half against the Saints. I'm not sure if the Saints are where they were last year. Right? I also like the New York Giants getting 2 points at home against the Buffalo Bills. Folks, when's the last time the Bills have been laying points to an NFC Eastern team on the road? right? Let's be real here. I know the Giants looked terrible defensively last week against Dak Prescott. Can Josh Allen of the Bills exploit the Giants secondary the way Dak Prescott did? I don't think so. I think the Bill problem, quite frankly, is that Josh Allen's still a young guy who runs a bit too much and isn't that accurate, right? Let's be clear here too. I know the Bills have a great defense, but the Giants did put up 470 offensive yards against the Cowboys. The Giants still have many guys who were picked relatively early in fantasy pools, right? Saquon Barkley, didn't he go in the first round of your fantasy pool? Evan Ingram, wasn't he a sought-after tight end? Understand, too, it's become a pastime with the press to rip Eli Manning. Last year, Eli Manning passed for more than 4,000 yards, folks. Right? More than 4,000 yards. Eli Manning is still putting up decent numbers. I think this is a slap in the face to the New York Giants to be underdogs to the Bills in their home opener. I like the Giants getting 2 points against the Buffalo Bills. Right? That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section of this video. Thanks for stopping by.